Welcome to the panel for Evolution of the Metaverse, Building Bridges to the Real World. In this panel, we will discuss how NFTs from LaMello Ball to digital DeFi pads are crossing over to the mainstream. Here today, we have a gathering of some of the best minds in the space who will share details about their success stories and experiences in creating NFT-based metaverse, collectibles, and games, all while using Chainlink VRF as a tamper-proof and verifiable source of randomness. My name is Chirag Dho. I lead product marketing for Chainlink Labs. Really excited to have this esteemed group of panelists with us today, and this is going to be an interesting conversation and will hopefully be valuable to you whether you are building NFT-based projects and use cases, looking at new types of blockchain-based games and key trends such as the metaverse, or wanting to learn about applications of Chainlink VRF as a verifiable source of randomness. As we get started, just wanted to provide introductions to our panelists today. So I would like to request our panelists to provide a brief intro about themselves, their role, and explain a little bit about their project, starting with Jesse.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jesse. I am the co-founder of Pixelcraft Studios and one of the summoners of Avagachi. So Avagachi is a NFT game that's made for people who enjoy DeFi. And we do that because the way we achieve that is with basically what is an on-chain, 100% on-chain, cute little ghost that actually has a deposit of Aave A tokens inside of it, existing on the Polygon network. And it's not the only thing that's on chain. In this case, it includes all of the visuals. So this means that every visual asset you see, every Avagachi and every wearable is stored as an SVG file directly on the Polygon network. This is important because that means you can rest well at night knowing that the longevity of your NFT is secure in every possible way, not just the typical metadata. The other part that is on-chain is the way we realize the Avagachis and that they are actually born on the using the Chainlink VRF. So you get a cute portal, this NFT with a magical door, and it's almost like a deck of cards. You choose to open it at some point of your choosing. At that point, it engages the Chainlink VRF, and you generate randomly on-chain, provably 10 different Avagachis with unique traits and visuals. And from there, you get to decide which one you're going to pick. You can only take one home with you from that portal. And so that's kind of the project in a nutshell. The name obviously references the old school Tamagotchi in that it's a crypto pet. We've thought a lot about crypto pets. And the most famous is, of course, that first generation with crypto kitties. And the idea when we started was kind of a blank sheet of paper. And we said, well, how do we make a crypto pet that really lives up to the term in the sense that you actually grow some attachment to that crypto pet. You actually care about it. And so we do that by taking advantage of really interesting and innovative ideas that are seldom used, such as on-chain dynamic traits. So when you summon your Avagachi, it'll start with a 50 score of a kinship. And this kinship score will move up and down every day, depending on whether or not you interacted with your Avagachi in an on-chain manner. So it's actually measuring on-chain transactions with your Avagachi. This is one of the many ways we think about living up to the idea of a true crypto pet. And then the Aave side of the name is really referencing the fact that indeed to summon the Avagachi you finally choose, you have to stake a certain amount of Aave yield generating tokens. And so, for example, we have a link themed Avagachi. If you see that in your portal, and you really, really want it, you're going to want to go get some A link or Polygon equivalent AM link and deposit it into your Avagachi. So literally the Avagachi is kind of like an NFT wallet is one term we see thrown around, which I think we need new terms for everything, but it's a pretty accurate way to think about it because you can deposit ERC20 tokens into your Avagachi, including our Ghost token or Aave tokens. And you can also deposit and attach other 1155 NFTs to it in the form of wearables typically, or badges. We also have badges. So that addresses the reputation side. So that's kind of what we're working on and really excited to be here today and talk about where we're going with that towards the metaverse and what we like to call the Gachiverse, which is a kind of virtual world made cozy for Avagachis.
Awesome. Nice to have you here, Jesse. Andras.
Hi, this is Andras Fishtov. I'm the founder of EtherCards. We have been doing NFTs for like 3 years now, so way before it was becoming fashionable. We are building NFTs that we call dynamic NFTs. They have specific traits. Traits are specific features and functions that make sense in the context in which the NFTs were created for. So for different projects, we are creating different sets of functions. These functions can be utilized directly from the NFTs. For example, you can get discounts for certain products. You can connect with a famous artist. You can connect with directly connect with a famous sportsman or celebrity, or you can have traits that lets you redeem physical objects from the NFTs directly. We are also having games and different kind of engagement systems that helps the creative people, the artists, the celebrities, the sportsmen, musicians to engage with their audience, because EtherCards itself is a community engagement and management tools that enables the users to create funding mechanisms and monetization mechanisms that helps them to engage and integrate with their own community. What we are building is a platform as a service, so it's not going to be a marketplace. It's more like that we are helping you, and our upcoming self-service platform will help you for you to deploy your own set of NFTs with your own set of dynamic features and functions that works for your use case the best.
Awesome. Great to have you around, Ross. Aiden.
Thank you.
Hello. Hey, guys. This is Aiden from Chain Guardians. AKA the NFT professor. So I've been in the NFT space since 2017, when it first started. Formerly, I worked on as part of in Microsoft as well, as part of the Xbox ecosystem. What Chain Guardians is, it's a blockchain superhero NFT. We make blockchain superhero for various different projects. So I think up to now, we made about 20 blockchain superhero, some of the big ones, including Chainlink, but we also made other hero more recently for Binance, as well as KuCoin, etc. So we had a play-to-earn RPG game that we've been making for the past 2.5 years. So it is in production. So you can visit it at under chainguardians.io. We also have an idle NFT mining game, which people can, as long as they own NFT, they can earn our token as well as a partner token, and the currency are kind of interchangeable, where you can use it with an RPG game as well. With our whole ecosystem of blockchain superhero NFT, you can also use it to participate in our Chainboost incubator, which is an IDO platform for NFT DeFi specific. So it's a launch pad for IDO. We recently did the IDO for Spores, and there's 2 other upcoming, Poker Fantasy and Babylon, and a whole bunch of others. So essentially, we're a gamified universe of blockchain and NFT projects.
Awesome. Nice to have you here, Aiden. Kieran.
Hey guys, my name's Kieran Warwick. I'm one of the co-founders of the up-and-coming blockchain game Alluvium. What we're building is essentially an open world RPG mixed with auto battler mechanics. And so essentially, you can think of us like very, very similar to Pokemon. There's 150 characters to collect in the world. We're looking to launch later this year. And right now you can participate in the staking that we have going, which essentially basically allows you to stake a little bit of ILV to earn ILV, or you can stake in one of our flash pools as well. And yeah, we've basically got play to earn aspects all throughout our game. It's not just the collecting of the characters. It's we also have land, which we're looking to launch later this year as well, and yeah, very excited to be here.
Awesome, thank you, Kieran. Lei.
Yeah, sure. Hi, hello everyone. I'm Lei, head of business development team at Hackle. So we are an EVM compatible public chain that provides blockchain developers with an efficient and low cost on-chain environment for decentralized applications, smart contracts, and digital assets. To now, Hackle has 12 million total addresses with 6.5 billion on TVLs, and also we are participating this panel mainly because of we are now officially hunting for high quality and high potential ones like the panelists today to expand the market together. So yeah.
Awesome. Great to have here, Lei. All right, and now I'm going to jump straight into randomness. And so my next question would be, why does your use case need a verifiable source of randomness? What were the pain points in existing naive implementation of randomness, and how is Chainlink VRF beneficial? I'd like to start with Andres first on some of the things you're doing with dynamic NFTs and where do you think randomness plays a role there?
Thank you. So randomness is essential to have any kind of system, any kind of gamification, almost any kind of activity. On the other hand, as probably not many people knows, there is no randomness on the blockchain. It is technically impossible to get something random enough that can be used in a way that actually creates any kind of real randomness on the blockchain. So getting randomness is next to impossible, and all the people who have tried it to use that kind of some kind of magic to utilize blockchain data to create randomness, they all failed because whatever they did, that was figured out, and their so-called randomness was figured out, and it did not work out. So getting a verifiable actual randomness on the blockchain is non-trivial. So without VRF, we could not actually exist, unless we would have built the whole infrastructure for ourselves, which would have been a lot of time and effort required. So basically, VRF made it possible for us to do all the dynamic NFTs and all the random distributions of traits and different features and functions and gamifications that we are using. So for us, it is pretty much a requirement for our existence.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing your perspective, Andres. Aiden, what about you? From a blockchain gaming perspective, where do you think randomness plays a role, and can you share your experience with Chainlink VRF?
Yeah, for sure. So I think it's quite interesting. I think Chainlink came up with two features, and one other feature that's upcoming this past few years. We created a pack system to be able to have people be able to purchase our NFTs. And one of the one that we make together with Chainlink is obviously the Chainlink Superhero, where we use it where users, when they purchase, which is on the chainlink.chainguardians.io, people can get a random rarity and random color card. So now why is this super important is because the random rarity, there's only one legendary card, and you do want to have a true randomness. The reason why is there's two types of stack that we used to do in our past pack system. Now, one of them is quite popular, which is essentially centralized pseudo-random solution, which means you randomize in the back end, and then later on, when user get it, they will then obviously see it as it's random. But the only caveat is that is assuming none of your devs know, none of them is actually going to secretly go purchase it because they know what's in the back end. So that does create a problem of, okay, can you really trust the centralized solution? It kind of defeats the purpose to be using blockchain and then having a centralized solution, right? So I think that's why, obviously the VRF function is something that we use along with surprise Oracle, because just like, hey, like how do you get the right price? So we kind of use this in both the stacks. So I think everything Chainlink is building is super cool. I just want to mention the one other angle, of course, in the past that we have used is we just mentioned, which is you can use something based on a chain, an attribute on chain, but then because of retries and like when we started in 2017, using the previous block's hash as some kind of randomness is actually still acceptable, except these days, everyone is getting much better at writing smart contract. They build contract that interact with the same block. So having knowledge with using something on a previous block is no longer good. But either ways, I'm just, super glad that in this VRF, because it's proven that in our cells, that having the VRF solution, like a trusted solution, we actually like threefold ourselves versus other NFTs which didn't have VRF installed. So I think there's a market demand for it for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Aiden. Kieran, same question. And if you'd like to add, where do you think are the potential new use cases for randomness as well?
Yeah, so in our case, we haven't actually implemented Chainlink's VRF yet. Where we are going to be doing it is in the staking platform that we have. We're actually going to be implementing and it still needs to be approved by our council, which is part of the governance structure that we set up. But basically, what we're going to be suggesting is to implement Chainlink's VRF into the staking contract, which will essentially allow us to start distributing at random these potentially high value NFTs that we've created. And so it's, I touched on, we have 150 characters in our first Genesis set. What we want to be able to do is as a value add or a nice offering for people who are staking very, very early on, is the ability for them to earn one of these NFTs, and it would be obviously completely at random, but the higher amount that you have staked, the more chance that you have. But because of the potentially high value of these NFTs, it's critical that we make it tamper-proof. And obviously, Chainlink being the industry standard, we decided to go with them. We did look at other solutions, but again, Chainlink has proven time and time again that they're the best, and so yeah, we're using Chainlink for that. The other use cases that I see are potentially things like loot drops, lotteries as well. So in the case of making it random for high stakes tickets and stuff like that, but also as I mentioned, weapons and armor that you might find in game. What type of thing that you actually earn has to be in most cases random, and you want to make sure that can be proven and reliable and on chain.
Cool, awesome. Thanks for your thoughts, Kieran. Jesse, I know you touched a little bit earlier about Avagachi's and VRF and randomness. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, so I mentioned to summon an Avagachi, you open a portal, you get 10 randomly generated, and that's engaging with the Chainlink VRF. And I think all of this, what everyone's talking about is that, if faith in how these results come about is undermined, you have a really big problem as any project. With crypto, we're all looking for fairness, and the Chainlink VRF really unlocks a lot of that. So we use it everywhere we can. We've used it to summon the Avagachis, but also in a couple other places. So the first haunt of Avagachis arrived in March of this year, but the project has existed for about a year. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary. And so the community has been really engaged from day one when we launched via a bonding curve. And that means if we launched September of last year till March, there was a lot of time in between. What did we do? Well, we ended up issuing NFT vouchers for future wearables that would be issued when the game arrived. And we started a kind of tradition in the community of every so often doing a raffle that was on-chain and using the VRF as well. And it was also a great way for us to battle test using the VRF before we got to the big day and needed to use it to engage with generating actual Avagachis. So it was kind of a win-win. Like the devs wanted to work with VRF, and we were able to do something with the community that was pretty special. So you would stake your ghost on a one-sided staking that would get you basically loyalty points called friends, and they're not ERC20s or anything like that. These points served one purpose. You'd exchange them for 1155 NFT tickets, and these raffle tickets would be of, if you want to try to win a godlike, then you're going to need 50,000 friends points for one ticket. Or do you want something common? You can do that all day. And I'm happy to say that some of the most exciting experiences within our community have been those raffles. They're really a rallying point. Everybody knows it's fair. Everybody knows what's at stake. And sometimes you really do come away with people who had less capital, but they've had time in the game. They were able to acquire a few of those godlike tickets, and they actually win. If a godlike, that means there's only 5 of that particular NFT in existence, that wearable. And we've actually had somebody win with submitting one ticket. We were able to verify it on chain. Quite amazing. And you couldn't have planned it better. The wearable was from our Chainlink themed wearable to celebrate the VRF. This is like November last year. And it was a little Chainlink cube, a little pixelated version representing that. And this user actually won it with one godlike ticket. Going forward, I think there's more ways to use it. So we're going beyond raffles and that kind of thing. And when the Gotchiverse virtual world comes and these parcels, you're going to have a parcel. We said, well, yeah, okay, right now a parcel represents rights to build on top of it, but we're a DeFi NFT project and we want to have some real gamification elements. So what if you get a parcel and you can see certain inputs, like where it is located? Is it next to a volcano that emits a certain, we have these different tokens called FOMO, Alpha, FUD. Where you are in position on the map will adjust these boosters. And then only after you engage the Chainlink VRF will you know what your parcel really holds in terms of these different, what we call alchemica. So it's going to be pretty cool. That's coming up, and Chainlink's going to play, again, a very big role in what is probably the highest stakes yet. Because if I get a parcel and I'm next to a certain area or it's a certain size, I want to know it's fairly distributed and the results are provable. So I'm very excited for doing that.
Awesome. Thanks for your thoughts, Jesse. All right, Lei, I'm going to switch up the question a little bit for you. I know you're doing a bunch of amazing things around Chain and Metaverse. So I'm going to start there on the next question and go to other panelists real quick to get their thoughts. I know we're coming up on time. So Lei, tell us a little bit more about what are the amazing things you're doing on Chain in the context of Metaverse and NFTs and gaming.
Yeah, sure. During Hackle's new launch, Chainlink actually supported us with 4 or 5 press feed already, but mainly the mint tokens. And right after it, Hackle experienced a explosive growth, and the project on Hackle Chain suddenly increased from 10 to over 100, and the needs from developers get urgent. And we become part of Chainlink's customer service team about a week to answering all the questions from developers about why we don't work with Chainlink for this and that tokens. And then Chainlink started run more press feeds with Hackle together. And now, right now, there's almost 30 something supported. And for Chainlink VRF, so since there's another booming of Hackle's gaming project and also a Metaverse project, so I think it would be available on Hackle very soon, hopefully. And we also worked with Chainlink very closely for different aspects to develop the future blockchain world. So, for example, Hackle are launching a Chainlink hackathon together. Well, that will be the first game theme blockchain hackathon that integrates screening, guidance, and support to one session. So I would say, to all the gaming developers, definitely don't miss it. And also right now, we are building a macro Metaverse framework. We believe that the most vital point in Metaverse is the immersive experience of users. So the key user experience is a lot of key use cases. So we are launching many use cases, game, NFTs, social products, and etc. And right now, a complex metaverse platform is building, and will alliance with one of the biggest film festival to lay out on Hackle together. Also, several former like really top development team is they are building several new projects like cosmetic war game on Hackle. So again, we are together, to targeting all the high potential ones to join Hackle, and we will support with all the resources we're having on hand.
Awesome. Thank you, Lei. Well, unfortunately, folks, we're at the end of our time. This conversation could have gone much, much longer. I want to thank all our panelists for their time today, for sharing their insights about what they're doing, how they're using randomness and BRF. Thank you very much. And we are looking forward to seeing your continued success. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. The good news is we could have gone on forever because it's such great content and amazing projects. Also, I'm a long-term gamer and games researcher, and I've got a YouTube channel on Chainlink that I want to have each of you guys on and talk about your projects. So I'll be in contact. We'll make sure and extend these. I would absolutely love to talk to every single one of you. I've already talked to Kieran before, but I'm going to have him back and everybody else too.